that in my kingdom there are people that are praying, and they are prophetic words, and the truth from my word that will preserve my nation for the purpose of extending my life to the next generation, says the Lord.
Good day, good day. This is God Says Ministries, the House of Fire, and I'm Prophet Tavis. So the Spirit is not letting me sleep again, keeping me going and hearing things. I hear the Spirit of God saying that the government of Uganda has sold Uganda out to the highest bidder. But not even to the highest bidder. They have sold Uganda out for a cheap bottle of wine and a rump steak. They have sold Uganda out for what they can get today, never thinking about tomorrow, or never thinking about the people of Uganda. The government of Uganda is not run by the president of Uganda and his advisors and his cabinet. It's run by the CCP, the Chinese Communist Party. The Chinese Communist Party saw a bunch of greedy people that they could manipulate with a cheap bottle of red wine and a rump steak. And in the manipulation, they created corruption that has gone beyond the line of evil. It stepped over to the gates of hell. It stands before the gates of hell. And the CCP has taken over the Uganda airport. The CCP has taken over a lot of the so-called nature reserve forests in Uganda. They are stripping those forests for the wood of Uganda. They are stripping the wetlands for the papyrus, for paper. They are stripping the mines of Uganda. You can see the influence of the CCP just by looking at the amount of cameras on street corners and at robots or traffic lights, if you want to call them that. The CCP is controlling what happens in Uganda, as the CCP controls what happens in China, and the Chinese people, the people on the ground, starve and just get by money going round and round in circles, while the government lives in luxury, eating their rump steaks and their caviar. But Uganda was sold out for a cheap bottle of wine and a rump steak by greedy men that only saw today and never saw tomorrow, never saw where they were going to be tomorrow. God is pointing this out now for a reason, for change is coming. Whether you want change or not, it's coming. And this nation will change in a day. The CCP overplayed their hand, and their corruption, their blackmail that they have been perpetrating in the land of Uganda has now come to light. and will be revealed in the next coming weeks of how much land the CCP, the Chinese Communist Party, has taken over. How much land that the Ugandans know about, and how much land and mines and forests that they don't know about. The government sold you out for a cheap bottle of red wine and a rump steak to fill their belly today, never worrying about tomorrow, where you will be tomorrow. All they cared about was today. So the president sits in an office that doesn't do anything. It has no power. He sits in an office because he has to sit there, because the corruption that will be unveiled if a new leader took over, and the books that are cooked being unveiled if a new leader or party took over, will show how the country has been sold out for today, and tomorrow was never thought of. He stands on the TV and speaks about the colonialism that took over this country years ago. Yet, China didn't take this country by colonialism. It bought it with a cheap bottle of red wine and a rump steak, a rump beef steak that satisfied the greedy hands and minds of hearts for today. And then when they wanted the next day, or tomorrow, it became a cheap bottle of wine and a goat chop. And so it went on until they were so deep in the pockets of the CCP that the only way they could keep going is to hand over the land of Uganda to the Chinese Communist Party. Ugandans, you are not run by the president of Uganda, nor the government that's under him. You are run by the CCP. Your president is a puppet of the Chinese Communist Party, living for today because he knows tomorrow he may be found guilty of it all. God bless you. May his favor drip from every part of you. In Jesus' mighty name. Amen.